The Drunk Killer of Stockton, Stockton-on-Tees, England. Paul Greenfield worked at the crisp factory in Stockton. He was a family man, described as caring by those who knew him. Each day he drives to and from work in his 125cc motorbike. Here's Paul on his bike heading home at the end of his shift on the 8th of June 2023. As he drove home on this day, he'll cross paths with another man, a meeting that will change his life forever. Aaron Dunlop, age 30, has spent a good deal of time at the Garage and Dragon Pub in Stockton drinking. He soon left the pub, picked up a friend of his, and returned to continue the ceremony of intoxication there. Dunlap is the man in the blue top, seen walking in the pub in the company of his friend. The records say he downed 11 whiskeys in the cocktail known to the locals as the Jägerbomb. By 9:20 p.m., Dunlop, who'd had way too much alcohol in his system, left the pub and got in the driver's seat of his Audi A5. This is the first sign of danger. The speed with which he left the parking spot is the second sign of danger. Peter Greenfield happened to be riding home at this moment, and the drunk and speeding Dunlop collided directly with his motorbike, killing him instantly. Dunlop didn't care about the human being whose life he just ended there. He didn't wait to see if Peter needed an ambulance. Instead, he revved his engine and ran off to save his neck. He was later caught at Newcastle Airport, where he was waiting to board a flight heading to Alicante. A judge at the Teesside Crown Court sentenced him to 12 years in prison for the senseless killing of Peter Greenfield. Death at her brother's hand. Hamilton, South Lanarkshire. Connor Gibson and his sister Amber didn't have the best of childhoods. They'd been born into a troubled home, and at the age of 5 and 3, respectively, the kids were taken from their parents and moved into the foster care system. The Niven family received them and hoped to fashion a better path for these troubled kids. Something must have gone awry at the Niven household, as Amber left at the age of 14 to stay at Hill House's children's home. Her brother will stay with the Nivens for another year, waiting until he turned 18. It was at this time that everything completely fell apart. While at the Hill House Children's Home in the first months of 2021, Amber experienced one of the worst things any woman can ever experience. She was sexually assaulted by the known sex offender Jamie Stars. One would think that her ordeal had reached a climax, but bad things always come in groups. On Friday, the 26th of November of 21, Connor called the Hill House home asking to meet with Amber. Although they'd been apart, they'd kept in touch. Their caregivers say that the relationship between the siblings wasn't always the best. It was so bad on this day that Ian Curry, the manager of the home where Amber resided, advised Amber to ignore her brother's invitation to meet. But blood's thicker than water, isn't it? The siblings were seen taking a walk along the streets of Hamilton, but when Connor walked back alone on the same road, he was alone, disheveled, and a little spent. What happened to him? And where was his sister? Later that night, Amber was reported missing since no one had heard from her. The last thing anyone heard from her was a post that she'd made on social media earlier, a selfie of the siblings walking along Hamilton with the caption, "My Big Bro." Amber's body was found 2 days later, hidden in the bush at Cadzow Glen. Her clothes were found nearby. She'd been strangled with some evidence of blunt force trauma to the head.
Amber was a young 16-year-old girl at the start of her life. Obviously, like every young kid at that age, she was out doing what a young girl would do. What I would say is a 16-year-old death is absolutely tragic, and certainly when it's from a homicide. So our focus is to understand Amber's last movement so that we can provide some answers to her loved ones. I think it's quite clear that Amber has had an untimely death at 16 and we're having a murder investigation. At this time we do not have anybody in custody for that, so that person quite definitely is on the loose, and that's why we are seeking the support of the community to provide us information that can help us as quickly as possible apprehend this person and remove him from the community, or remove that person rather from the community.
Connor posted a tribute to her on social media. Amber, you'll fly high for the rest of time. We'll all miss you, especially me. I love you, Ginger Midget. Here's a video of Connor after he got home, disposing of the clothes he'd worn earlier on that ill-fated walk with his sister. When his DNA was found on Amber's underwear, which were found with the rest of her clothes, the clothes Connor had tried to dispose of here also bore traces of Amber's blood and DNA. The Sleeping Teen, Texas. Jesus Cruz was 20 years old when this incident occurred. It was 2021 and Cruz had taken one too many bottles and was completely hammered. When you're drunk, it's best not to drive, but Cruz forgot the one rule and got behind the wheel of his car. What happened next is both heartbreaking and infuriating. He slammed into the apartment where a 16-year-old lay asleep with another 12-year-old also in the house. Here's Jesus Cruz being interrogated by the cops.
Alright, so really quick, what is your name, sir? Jesus? What's your last name, sir?
Do I have to answer this, bro?
Yes, sir. What's your last name?
Do I have to answer?
Yes, sir. At the moment, yes, sir.
I don't remember.
You don't remember your last name? No? Okay. How old are you? Do you know your date of birth?
December.
Do me a favor, just lean against the unit. Just lean against it right there. I don't want you to fall. Was there anyone else in the vehicle with you? It was just you? Okay. Right now we'll go ahead and check up on, paramedics will check you up, okay? So, what's your, you don't remember your last name?
The alcohol in his system was so much that he didn't remember his date of birth or his address.
What's your date of birth? December what?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Where were you going to?
I was going home.
What's your address?
I don't remember.
You don't remember your address? Where were you coming from?
From home.
From home? And you were going home? So where's home?
It's that way.
That way? In San Juan? So what's your address in San Juan? You don't remember?
The only thing he could remember was his name, and even if he said that, he slurred, weaved back and forth, and showed all the classic signs of intoxications.
Come right over here, sir. Come right over here. Just stand right over here in the back. What's your name, man? Jesus. But what's your last name? Cruz. Sit down. I don't want you to fall. Sit down.
My foot hurts, bro. My foot hurts too much.
Alright, right now they're going to check you out. Sit down.
Oh, fuck.
He subsequently failed the field sobriety test as administered by the officers, but you already knew he was going to fail the moment you take a look at him.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do a standard field sobriety test, sorry? I'm going to checking your eyes. Sorry, do me a favor, try to put your feet together. I know you said your foot hurts, so just try to put your feet together. Right now, we'll go ahead and do me a favor. Just look right over here, man. Do me a favor. Look. I'm gonna be checking your eyes. Look at the tip of my pen with your eyes only. Alright, just stay still, do not move. Alright, okay, I'm gonna be checking your eyes, okay? Are you gonna look at the tip of my pen?
I'm looking at the tip of the pen, it just hurts.
Alright, the ambulance is coming. Just keep your hands to your side. Look at the tip of my pen with your eyes.
I am, bro.
Alright. Well, that's all I need you to do. Look at the tip of my pen, follow it with your eyes only.
He gets angry at the cops at one point during the interrogation.
How many have you had to drink?
I haven't had any. It just hurts bad, bro, you know? I haven't had any. It just hurts.
So then where were you coming from?
I was coming from home. I was going home.
Right there by the bumper, man. I don't want you to fall.
Hey, sir, come on right over here.
My leg is where you want
Alright,
me to fall?
no. Stand right here. I told you to sit down.
Right there on the bumper.
I can't. That's like 2 inches. No, I can't sit on that.
Right there. What hurts?
Everything hurts.
Be specific. What you said your foot and what else?
My body hurts.
Body. Where in your body?
My nose, my face, my back.
Okay.
Are you guys gonna help me? Or are you just gonna ask me what hurts?
Cruz didn't appreciate the enormity of the situation. He was more interested in getting away from the scene than he was about the people he had hit.
Or y'all just trying to let me suffer, you know?
That's why we're saying we're bringing you EMS so you can get checked out.
So why are we standing here then?
Because we're waiting for EMS.
The teenager died on the spot while the 12-year-old sustained some injuries. He pleaded guilty to a DWI and was sentenced to 20 years in prison. 17 miles for an ex-girlfriend. Colston, Bassett, England. The man in the video is 26-year-old John Jessup, who lives in Newark, Nottinghamshire, but this footage was captured in Colston, Bassett, 17 miles away from Jessup's home. What's in Colston, Bassett for Jessup? Between September 2021 and February of 22, Jessup dated an older woman, Claire Ablewhite, who was 47 at the time. Their relationship ended due to concerns about the gap in age, but Jessup wasn't having any of it. A week after the breakup, Jessup was caught on camera loitering around the area where Claire lived with her 3 kids. Here's footage of Jessup making a stop at the shop to get himself a pasty. He must need some strength to carry out the evil he had on his mind. This footage was one of the things that helped cops find and arrest him. When he left his shop and proceeded to the home of Claire Ablewhite, he attacked her, then stabbed her to death. Her body was discovered later by her heartbroken father, and cops swung into action immediately. Using dashcam and CCTV footage, they found videos of Jessup who'd ridden a bicycle the 17 miles it took to get from Newark to Colston, Bassett. Everything was captured on CCTV cam of Claire's neighbor who ran a dog walking business from her home. Jessup had stowed his bicycle nearby, and the camera caught him as he went back to pick it up after stabbing Claire. The police traced his movements backwards from that point to the shop where he bought the pasty and on his bicycle ride from Newark. He was arrested shortly afterwards and charged with Claire's murder. He pleaded guilty and was sentenced to a minimum of 17 years and 8 months in jail. Border Patrol officer or murderer? Laredo, Texas. Juan David Ortiz was a Navy veteran who at one time was deployed to serve in Iraq. At the time of this disturbing event, he was working as a Border Patrol agent who'd been on the job for about 10 years. In 2008, a murderer began to target sex workers in the Laredo area in Texas. 4 sex workers were already dead and one had managed to escape this serial killer who appeared to be targeting a specific type of people. On the 14th of September 2018, Erica Pena escaped from the vehicle of the murderer who had threatened her with a gun. She ran topless, and fortunately for her, she ran into the arms of a state trooper who was pumping gas at a gas station close by. She gave a detailed description of her assailant, his car, and his name. The hunt began in earnest, but David was already on the run. When the cops caught up with him, he fled.
That's the strip right there. You walked inside.
He walked inside?
Yeah.
Hands up! Turn around! Turn around! Turn around! Turn around!
Stop right there. Stop. 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 Stop.
Walk away!
Stop. Is this your truck? Is this your truck? Okay. All right. Turn around. Turn around.
Get on your knees!
Turn around. I'll explain to you right now. Turn around.
While the officer commanded the occupant of the vehicle to turn around and surrender himself, he explains the reason for the arrest and mentioned that all they wanted was to ask him some questions, but Ortiz didn't comply. Instead, he took off on foot.
Okay. I'm gonna explain to you. Okay, Brett, I'm gonna do the talking. All right, sir. We got a positive ID with some. This truck right here is matching with the potential, with the murders that's been happening within the past 2 weeks. We wanna do an interview. We wanna do some questioning. We just need for you to cooperate with us, okay? All right, fine. Make my way. Just turn around and make my way this way, okay? Turn around. Just turn around. Turn around, please. Turn around. Hey!
Ortiz evaded the cops and ran to hide in an abandoned property. The cops cordoned it off and established a perimeter.
What's up? Where's he at? We got him, bro. Yeah, he's in here. He's in here, bro. He's in here, bro. Yeah.
One of the officers believed that Ortiz wanted to end it all through suicide by cop, a scenario where he runs hoping that a cop would shoot him and bring the whole ordeal to an end. Reports show that he had said goodbye to 2 of his friends before this chase and appeared that he was ready to go. SWAT, county police, Texas Rangers, and state troopers soon filled the scene while Ortiz hid himself, hoping a slight window would open up for his escape. They marched into the building, exploring it thoroughly for the fugitive. He was considered armed and dangerous, which is why this heavy machinery was set up to find him. But he wasn't there, he had evaded the cops. He was captured later and charged in court. Despite a taped confession, Ortiz pled not guilty to 1 charge of capital murder among other charges. He was found guilty and has been sentenced to life without parole. I Killed a Baby, West Midlands, UK. This is one of the types that stay with you forever. The palpable pain and the tender age of the victim leave you troubled and heartbroken. The driver, 35-year-old James Davis, can be seen running from the scene moments after the crash. He's not running away. No, he's rather in distress, troubled by the damage he's done. James was speeding and lost control of his vehicle. He was doing 60 miles per hour in a 30-mile-per-hour zone, lost control of his vehicle, hit an oncoming vehicle, and swerved. When he swerved, he crashed into the carriage of a 2-month-old baby. The child died on the spot, prompting Davis to run wildly and aimlessly. 40 minutes later, he called the police to turn himself in. In court, he was found guilty of dangerous driving and sentenced to over 6 years in jail. The murder of Courtney Peters, Cape Town. In May of 2017, Mortimer Saunders was captured on CCTV bearing what appears to be a faulty heavy load. He can be seen running with his arms out in front of him. What he's carrying, you ask? Wrapped in a plastic bag is the body of 3-year-old Courtney Peters. Here's the pretty little girl whose life was snuffed out by envy and a deeply evil human. Why did he kill her? Mortimer says little Courtney was annoying him. He was a tenant in the home which belonged to Courtney's mother. According to Mortimer, the little girl had woken him from sleep because she wanted to watch television in his room. He mixed ant poison in her water. He placed the body of the child in a plastic bag, carried the body to the dump site in Epping Industria, not far from the home where the girl lived with her mother. After dumping the body, he walked home with only the weight of his crimes. He was given 2 life sentences.
So the fact that the offense was planned and not committed at the spur of the moment, lack of remorse, abuse of trust, abuse of a defenseless child, and prevalence of crimes committed serve as aggravating factors in this case.
The night Lily Sullivan died, Pembroke, Wales. This video shows the seemingly innocuous moments just before it all ended for 18-year-old Lily Sullivan. The young girl had only gotten out to have some fun, but what she met instead was a man determined to end her existence. The man walking with her is Lewis Haynes, a 31-year-old oil refinery worker. They'd met at the Out nightclub in Pembroke on the 16th of December. In the early hours of the morning, they left the club and Haynes appeared to lead Lily into a secluded area in an alley. They shared a kiss, but Lily refused to have sex with him. Many believe her refusal infuriated Haynes, who forcibly took off her top and strangled her before dumping her body in the pond. Here's Haynes, walking out of the alley alone with Lily, probably dead at this time. While Haynes pled guilty to the murder charges in court, he says the act was not sexually motivated. He's since been sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole.
In the early hours of the following morning, the violent and predatory actions of Lewis Haynes took the life of Lily during an attempt to satisfy his own needs. Lewis Haynes passed numerous opportunities to seek help when fleeing the scenes of his crime. These cruel actions have changed the lives of those who knew Lily and the close-knit community of Pembroke. The life sentence handed down today to Lewis Haynes ensures he will not be able to freely harm others in the community. Powys Police and our partners will continue to work tirelessly to bring to justice those who perpetrate offences against women and girls in all its forms. This sentence is no consolation for the family and friends of Lily, but I hope this will be a step forward in the slow process of rebuilding their lives. Today my thoughts are entirely with them.
The lifeless body, Detroit. This is the moment a suspected killer was captured on cam dragging the body of his victim. The first look shows the man walking simply along the street. At first glance, you won't think anything of it until you see what he's got going on. The disturbing event was caught on the corner of Palmerton and Winthrop on Detroit's west side. This is not a secluded spot or a less frequented path. It's a pretty busy road, and the sight of a man dragging the dead body of a half-clothed woman is not a sight you see very often. The woman whose body was being dragged is a 50-year-old mother of 2. It was another woman, Elizabeth Strickland, who saw the perpetrator and called the police.
I seen a guy that brought a body from out of nowhere and dropped her right there. Then he tried to run. Flagged the police down, the police got him. He tried to run, but I seen him drop a body right there yesterday. And I'm glad they got him because I pointed him out. I'm glad they got him.
She works at this car wash, and it's their CCTV camera that offered us this disturbing footage. The man in the video has been arrested. The Chelmsford Chef, Nelson Groove, Chelmsford. Merrick Hecko is a 26-year-old chef from Chelmsford, Essex. The handsome chef staggers back to the scene of a gruesome murder. He's obviously drunk, but worse than that, he confesses to knowing what happened.
Who are you looking for?
I'm looking for a I can help her. What's going on?
Uniform one night?
Yeah, I can help her. What's going on?
This home in Nelson Groove belongs to Stephanie Brame, a former romantic partner of Chef Hecko. When Stephanie broke off the relationship of May of 22, Hecko was heartbroken and pined over his lost love for a while. Stephanie didn't wait too long. She began to date Adrian Ellingford, who was 44 and married at the time. On the 25th of July, 22, Ellingford woke up, said something about someone being in the house, then slumped. Stephanie was shocked to find a knife stuck in Ellingford's back. He was pronounced dead on the scene. Chef Hecko staggered back to the scene in the morning with a bottle in his hand, saying he could help and that he knew what had happened and you need me to figure it out. If you don't have me, you don't know what happened.
No, I know what happened. I know the people they involved, so...
Go again.
Yeah. But we need to dig deep, you know?
Thank you. What's your name?
I'm not gonna tell you my name. I don't give a because I know what happened. And you need me to know, figure it out, what happened. If you don't have me, you don't know what happened. I just know that some guy come here.
Yeah.
And he up some guy. I don't know what happened.
Right.
I don't know what happened. He just got.
In his very drunken state, he gave himself away. You can hear him say even worse self-incriminating things at this point.
You're gonna think about me, but it's not gonna be me because there's no proof.
So you think something's happened to a male in this address?
No, I know what happened.
What
I know
happened then?
everything.
Tell me
I
what
know
happened.
This city is mine. I'm not gonna
This
tell you
city's
what
yours, is it?
Yeah, this city is mine.
He was arrested and charged 3 days later with murder. He'd been given a minimum sentence of 26 years.
Okay, we're trying not to manhandle you, but we need you to get in the van.